excited.
Well, you knew the day would come. You know, there's a world where there are video games around. You know, the soy beta male simulator. There are all sorts of wild video games out there, and now I guess we have our first video game based on, at least loosely based on, Kyle and his acquittal, called Acquitted, receiving overwhelmingly positive reviews. According to Steam. Of course, Twitter's absolutely losing its mind. I've spoken with the actual creator of the game, and I want to share some of their thoughts with you too. You know, you can look at some of the reactions. You know, Kyle-inspired FPS video game released. Here's Andy No putting, there's some new Kyle-inspired video game on Steam called Acquitted, where you fight zombie rioters. In 2020, there was a game released on Steam and Nintendo called Tonight We Riot, in which players controlled rioters who tried to end the law enforcement and, quote, capitalists. His point here, obvious that, you know, I don't remember any outrage about that game, at least not from journalists. I haven't seen any potential outrage from that video game, but certainly people are losing their minds over this one. And I suppose you could argue that it might make sense, but I mean, I couldn't care less. And I could care so little, knowing by basically the topic of this video. I'm really glad to have this video sponsor, Meta PCs. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Meta PCs. Look, you've been around, you know that I've been talking about Meta PCs for a very long time. In fact, it's the primary computer I use. But it's not just because they're a sponsor. It's for so many more reasons. They have fully customizable, configurable PCs and all the hardest to find parts in stock and ready to go. They also have ready to ship PCs ready for you today. Here's a couple reasons why I like Meta PCs. First and foremost, it's veteran ownership. Meta PCs is a veteran-owned business. One of Meta's owners has served both in Afghanistan and Iraq and received a Purple Heart for his service. Meta also employs military veterans in Meta's operations center and also provides systems to veterans going back to school to help them re-enter the workforce all across the United States. They offer financing. It has 100% US-based sales and support. And when you receive your PC, it's ready to go right out of the box. You don't have to get complicated and set things up. You just plug it all in and you're ready to rock. And on top of that, Meta PCs is offering you, my viewer, a huge discount when you use the link in the description or you use promo code TheQuartering. If you use my code at checkout, not only do you save money, but you support my content and a company that will not bow to cancel culture. So maybe you're not ready to pick up a new computer today, but when you are, remember to go to metapcs.com and use promo code TheQuartering to support me and to save money. And everybody wins. If you need it, I mean, you may not need a gaming PC, but if you're in the market for a new computer, Meta PC is the one I use. And if you use my promo code, you can save big at checkout. Andy writing, the Tonight We Riot game was released in 2020, had players ending PD, capitalists with bricks, and carry out the communist revolution. And it was also released on the Nintendo platform and Steam. You can see much of the replies here. Be right back. Downloading Acquitted. Holy F, you know the Steam's going to take that down at some point. Get it while you can. And it's on sale right now. A bit much. Super funny, but a bit much. You could see a lot of the people on Twitter. JFC, that's a acronym for a naughty word. Some white supremacist made a video game about Kyle and disguised it as a zombie video game. Ooh. T-Rack Insight. Hashtag racist Kyle inspired first person FPS game released on Steam platform. Oh no. And they're getting kind of like hilariously memed, like, oh, it's on sale now. Buy it now. Now, again, you know, the meme of the game, yeah, it looks like it's a top-down. Looks pretty fun. Right now, it's overwhelmingly positive, 45 reviews. The game is $4, so we're not talking about huge money. You can see if you F around, you find out. Based minigame for $5. Nice to see a normal straight white male protagonist for once who isn't evil. By the way, the super soldiers and Jeff Bezos share the same social policies. First off, Annie No brought me here. That's right. He was promoting your game on Twitter yesterday. Overall, I'd say the game is pretty good and worth the laughs. Simple yet addictive. The art is pretty good too. Don't let the initial ease and difficulty fool you. It starts getting challenging around stage 7 or 8. If you like games like Smash TV, then you'll like this. Kyle cleared of all charges. About to exit the courtroom. Judge yells, "Hey kid," turns around, credits roll, Eyes of the Tiger plays. Like, not bad. I ended some commies and some groomers, but I repeat myself, I did not cross state lines, so only rate 7 out of 8. This will be a short review. Pros, game is fun. That's all you need to know. I might play it. I might give it a try. But also, most importantly, the game is from a company called Nordic Empire Games. And the creator, who also is a Swedish politician, military veteran, and head of Nordic Empire Games, released the game Acquitted: Self-Defense versus the Brain Dead on Steam. It released back on May 3rd, yesterday. In his own words, the game is satirical and loosely based on events around Kyle, featuring themes of self-defense versus undead communists and Antifa zombies. The project is a pushback against the ongoing woke insanity in our culture, as well as a test of Steam's commitment to freedom of speech. So far, we've received tons of positive feedback, which we've verified here in this video on our Steam page, as well as journalist Annie No covered our game with a lot of excited replies. The game has gotten some media coverage. You can see here on Offensively Patriotic. New Kyle-inspired FPS game releasing on May 2nd on Steam. Now, I asked him if Kyle, I had a few questions like, hey, are you paying Kyle for this? Like, is he getting any money? Because that seems like you should do that. Some of the things that he shared, he said that they will happily share profits if Kyle's interested and wanted to be associated with the game. So there you go, Kyle, you can get paid. He also wrote, initially having, wanting to not necessarily associate directly with him. They portrayed the main character in their best possible light, named the game Acquitted: Self-Defense to highlight that the main character is in the legal and moral right, and the gameplay consists of the player being trapped and surrounded by thousands of threats where self-defense is the only option, which is repeatedly vindicated by being acquitted after every level. So there's actually like a message to this game. It says, he writes, initially we have avoided naming him in the game or any person, place, or organization for many reasons, including the possibility of such an association could be misinterpreted as an endorsement of the game by someone who never actually endorsed it or doesn't want to be associated with it. The main character of the game is a symbol that represents the normal, sane person who is on the receiving end of tacitly establishment-approved left-wing bad behavior. You can customize his appearance on the main menu to make him look like whoever you want. But of course, that symbol is heavily inspired by Kyle and his heroism. We have a disclaimer that starts at the beginning of the game, clarifying this and strictly opposing, bad behavior. The disclaimer reads, Nordic Empire strongly opposes all forms of, crime and this kind of that stuff. This work is satire based in fantasy zombie setting and was made without the knowledge or endorsement of anyone who was in the design, and they weren't involved in the design. It looks pretty fun. And again, this is kind of goes back to the whole like make your own culture thing. A lot of people, will say like, oh, you just sit there and complain. You got to go do something about it. And I would argue that, this is a perfect example of that, going out and doing something about it. You see, Acquitted is a fast-paced zombie FPS hack and slash with elements of base building and turret defense that takes place in randomly generated and fully destructible maps. Fight for your life against decades of bad parenting and education that has physically manifested into skateboard swinging, dung flinging horde of undead rage. Choose from 18 different weapons and items to defend yourself against hundreds of brain dead, heck bent on putting you in a grave or prison cell for refusing. Sounds like a fun waste of time. There's over 100 levels of brain dead woke zombies for you to blast through and defend yourself from as they surround you in every angle and try to take your life. It's your job to make it home alive. See it in action for the following trailer. And of course, the trailer seems to be having, seems to have very positive results. Any skateboard wielding zombies. This looks hilarious for $5. Why not? Brilliant stuff. Dang, I wish I'd known you guys were making this. Notice how the zombie with the skateboard is missing a part of his bicep. Small little details. Hey, good luck to them. Play it on your Meta PC and have fun with it.